and welcome to episode 9 of Fallen Dragons. I will be your DM tonight. My name is Mike. Let's go around and have the players introduce themselves and the characters they play. Start with Dusty.
Hi, I'm Smite, and I'm playing a Tiefling Warlock.
And Tina.
Hi, I'm Tina. I'm playing Esma Seafarer, and I am a rogue. And a little bit nutty. Excuse me.
For her, that's normal.
Yeah, that's normal.
Patrick.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I am playing James. He's the Kensei monk. Pretty sure. Yeah. He's a painter. He was painting the castle and then stuff happened.
Yeah. Should have found a better job. Melody.
I'm Melody, and I play Inya Amaker, and I am a clerk.
And Josh.
I'm Josh. I'm playing Blaze Tefix, a human bard.
Okay. And last we left the group, you had been on a boat for several days. Some very strange things happened on the boat. And you finally docked in the kingdom of Nyckos on the coast. And you were about to disembark ship. To give you a little background of where you're at, Nyckos is the oldest civilization known to exist in Azeroth. It was here before the continents that you guys have adventured on. But it's remote enough that not a lot of people go there. Technology-wise, it's a little bit more advanced than the standard kingdoms in Azeroth. It's got a higher level magic. I wouldn't say they were quite Eberron level yet.
But that's where they're going.
That's where the king and queen would like to see it go. Because one of their major exports is magical technology. So the more they can come up with, the more they can export, and the wealthier the kingdom will be.
Gotta have goals.
When you and your wife are 500-year-old elves, it's, they've been working at this for a while.
The elves are capitalists.
Always. Well, dwarves are too. They're always mining and such like that. It's like everybody
With resources.
wants gold.
It's shiny.
I'll bet you've never met a traveler that if you handed them a gold coin, they'd hand it back to you and say, "No, I don't need it." So, and if you do, it's a doppelganger and you should kill it. So, you have just docked in the port town of Tenrus, Tenrus, and even though it's a small port town, you see people walking around the city with augmented body parts, like mechanical body parts. You see wizards openly walking around. One is particularly interesting as you pass by, as he passes by the dock, because he just sort of casually bouncing a fireball on the palm of his hand as he walks by. Like, this is normal, it happens all the time.
Got to be a health and safety violation.
Especially at a port.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere, really, everything's wood.
Oh, not in Tenrus. Everything is either metal or stone.
Oh, nice.
Even in the dark,
Classy.
huh?
Oh, the dock itself is steel.
Ouch.
Metal or stone? Is it made of stone bricks or just like magically extruded stone?
You'd have to investigate that.
Lick it.
Lick it.
Okay, look at.
I go up to the wall, I look at it for cracks, and I'm like, huh?
Give me an investigation roll.
I roll investigation. I have a D20 around here somewhere, I'm sure. I got a 7.
It looks like common stone to you.
I'm gonna lick
Alright.
it.
Go for it.
I walk over and stick out my tongue. I'm like, "Eh."
Uh, give me a perception check.
Oh, I got a 5. It didn't taste good.
Tastes like stone.
Tastes like poison.
And also, you get the sense that maybe you shouldn't do that again.
We'll see.
So, what do you got? I'm assuming after the two of these did that the rest of you disembark ship and you're standing there laughing at the two of them.
Guys, look at these buildings! There's stone!
Just to check, I've got a passive perception of 23. Are they bricks or are they just extruded like mortar.
They look like mortar.
Okay.
From where you are, they look like mortar.
I'm keeping that to myself, but I think the mystery will do them good.
Only this party could make a major fuss over whether whether something was stone or not.
It's gonna come important later. I know.
That feels important.
Okay, yeah. Smite was feeling a bit short on mineral content, so
Did you lick the wall?
yeah.
Hey, it's really hard to fake that with an illusion spell. If you lick an illusion, what does it taste like? Huh? Huh?
The
If it was
thing,
an illusory town, we would have just found out right there.
if you made an illusionary building and you lick the building, it tastes like the building.
Well,
That'll
I don't know
weird
that. Do I look like a wizard?
them.
And especially if you use greater illusion, it even smelled like the building and such like that.
Good to know.
But so do you guys just wander off away from the ship, or
I ask someone nearby if there's a place to go look for information in the town, like a library or something of
Yeah.
that sort.
yeah, they say that, they point straight ahead of you and they say, we have a fairly large library in the central district of town.
I tip him a silver piece and say thank you.
Good way to make friends.
Mhm.
I whisper in Esmond's ear, you should pick that guy's pocket.
Ah, Esma would, but she is exhausted. She had too much fun on the ship. All she wants to do is get drunk, go to tavern, and drink a little bit. All
Gotta
that,
get that morning buzz going.
I know, all that sex just exhausted her. She had a marathon.
Right back, you guys. I blew my nose.
Let's go to the library. Sounds
To
like
the
there's
library.
probably a place to stay around there too, and usually there's taverns. So
well, um,
She does have the flask, so I guess she could just do a quick swig of the flask.
hey, kick it over here when you're done.
Okay. Esma just takes a big gulp, and then she hands it to Smite.
Good morning.
as
Swig, another glug too. Anybody else thirsty?
as you guys
Put it back.
as you guys are walking through the city to get to the central district, it doesn't take long because Tenris, while being a port city, is not overly large. But what everybody give me a perception check.
Tentacle, tentacle, tentacle.
I don't think Esma's gonna be very perceptive. She is a little bit
Woozy?
woozy and
22.
exhausted.
I got an 18, and I don't know what my perception bonus is. Probably not much, but
Well,
Not very perceptive either.
hey, easy.
if you got an 18, it doesn't matter what your modification is.
I
Esma,
hope I roll well enough during battle.
Mine's 9. I didn't do so well.
Esma's perception is a +5, so even when she's boozy, I guess she's perceptive. Cause she got an 18.
She's always boozy though,
Yeah.
so
She's used to
Well,
it by now.
I didn't know woozy.
Well, you're basically looking around the city. All the buildings have spires on them of different shapes and different colors. Some are solid, some light up, some are made out of crystal.
So what everybody but me noticed.
No, at this point, you're looking at buildings. Everybody would notice this, unless you're like looking at the ground as you walk.
I got a
Uh,
6.
with a 6, I guess you were looking at the ground as you walked.
Did you stub
I
your
was
toe?
Yeah.
I got a 9.
Yeah, yeah. Patrick is looking at the ground as you walk.
I must be
Uh,
too because I only got a 9, so.
No, with a 9, you see the building.
Check. It's a building.
We're just
Yeah.
keeping Pat from walking into the side of the walls because he's not paying any attention to anything.
I'm actually painting something as I'm walking, and that's really impressive, but I do miss the building.
So give me a deck saving roll.
I got a 13?
Or what now?
A 13?
You barely miss. You just lift your head up in time to avoid walking face first into the building you were painting.
You know, it got closer while I was walking.
Yeah, buildings do that when you're not looking.
What kind of paint are you using? Because oils take forever to dry. That would have been a mess.
Watercolor, definitely.
Oh, there you go.
It's easier for him to get watercolors than it is for him to get oils.
Cheaper.
You gotta wait a while between the layers, though. That's the thing.
You know, in our line of work, you should start using charcoal because we get a lot of it with the dragons that keep on coming.
I heard in our line of work, you should start using chokeholds. And I'm like, yeah,
I heard
you're
also.
probably right.
Uh,
Cold.
Charcoal smudges too.
I wonder how that would work if a dragon used a chokehold on somebody.
That works too.
No,
I'd imagine they'd be
haven't.
doing it with their mouths, so probably fairly well.
No, what I was thinking is
I'd be eating us.
they have arms. I just, you know,
Little T-Rex arms. No.
they
Important
drag.
question.
They,
They have
drag.
arms. Do they have thumbs?
No, they have claws.
It's this.
So, you know, wrap both claws around your neck and squeeze.
You have to go like that. Yeah.
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 So you got claws.
Or
You got claws biting into you from both sides of your neck. So,
Let go.
The point being,
What's
What-
going on?
would he choke you out before he cut your spine in half?
Depends how big the dragon is.
Yeah. Depends on
What?
what they want, I think, more than
Yeah.
anything.
They keep you alive just long enough to get what they want.
It's a dragon. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. So you guys get to the center district of town. There is a massive, absolutely clear crystal building
Whoa.
in the center of town. Looks like the entire building was made out of one chunk of rose quartz crystal.
Beautiful.
And
Shiny.
Good
Very
energy.
shiny.
a guard nearby notices you and says, "That's where the king and queen live."
Fancy. They just like divulge that kind of information, no problem, to random strangers.
You're showing off.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
bragging.
they want, people to know where they are. They don't,
We apparently looked lost.
yeah. Patrick looks seriously lost.
Seriously.
Yeah. He's like painting away and he looks seriously lost. So, but this is actually the most beautiful tower you've ever seen, with the exception of maybe the Shadow Dragon, the Shadow Obsidian Tower, and the Shadowfell that you guys went to.
For being in the Shadowfell, that place was comfy.
No, it was awful.
I thought
Yeah.
it was good.
Your average cleric isn't gonna like the Shadowfell in any shape or form, no matter what's there.
The food was amazing.
Okay, that is about the only good thing about that place.
So
Entertainment was fun too.
Mm,
And
and we made a new friend, so it
Yeah.
wasn't all bad.
And Esma had a good family for a short day before it blazed in glory.
oh yeah, Josh, you weren't around when Esma did that.
No.
She cast a love spell on a zombie in the middle of combat.
it was hilarious.
Had a pet for a few days. First,
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
As I'm still heartbroken about it. One day she will have become the zombie queen she was meant to be.
Where's your snake?
He's
I think we left him in the tavern. Because he's
Okay.
getting mad at me that I keep on risking his life. I don't know why.
and the same guard that tells you that that's the king and queen's tower ask you, what is it you seem to be looking for?
We're looking for the library.
He points over to the left and goes, "See the black spire on the corner? That's the library. The black spire, the red The blood red spire on the other corner is the cleric temple / hospital.
Hopefully, we won't need that.
One can always hope.
Or they can cheat.
Make sure we don't need it with enough healing spells.
Depends on how long you want to live. And with that, he wishes you safe journey and turns and walks back toward the king and queen's castle.
No tipping the guard that just volunteered a bunch of information. I know he's getting paid, but
No, we don't pay guards.
He's
I don't know. That might work out better if you did.
Okay, I guess we can bribe guards, but
We save it for special occasions.
yeah.
Okay. The guy's getting paid.
he's a royal guard. He's doing all right.
Makes pretty good money patrolling a cushy little town.
So,
To the
So I
Black
guess
Spire
we head
Library.
to the Black Spire.
now, when you get to this library, what is it you're looking for?
Any information on the Blood Lotus?
Okay. Okay. So it only takes you a minute or two to walk over there. You, you guys are about 8th in line. There's a fair line stretching out the door.
There's a line for the library.
I
Yeah.
mean, wizards live here, so
Oh, or like they social distancing or something.
No.
or-
Social distance.
I think Asma's gonna research the prophecy because it keeps coming up. So she's gonna try to find stuff on the prophecy while everyone else is looking up the cult.
The clerics at the hospital cured COVID centuries ago.
Maybe the wizards know something.
It only took them a day and a half. So, eh.
No comment.
And then someone ate a cockatrice and it started a plague that ravaged land for centuries.
You should be smart enough to know not to do that.
We deserve it.
It was
Plus,
capitalism. He was starving.
you know, they have family that will come after you and get revenge and shit. So, not a good thing.
well, he died of the cockatrice pox, so it doesn't really.
It was an awake spell that went horribly wrong.
Yeah.
A wizard tried to awaken a cockatrice and it backfired horribly.
Who would do that? The cockatrice was dangerous enough without being awakened.
I mean, people made owl bears, so
Yeah, so you guys, after a few minutes, finally make it into the library. And And when you look around you, everything is black crystal, except parts of it have almost a smoky tint to it. But you can
Sparkly.
see through everything. The walls, the bookshelves.
Hey guys, I think this is magically extruded crystal.
I think this kingdom, everybody is a baller.
Right?
Well,
It's all about that GDP.
well, the, yeah. You can look up things also. You can look up the general history of the kingdom if you're interested in knowing why it's different anywhere else you've ever been before.
I'll look up that.
I'll help.
So
Esma's still curious about the prophecy. Plus, she's also thinking about the gold because she remembered about the gold in the place that we haven't gone back to. So
yeah,
she wants the gold.
I'm
Did we?
gonna hang out with Esma. That's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah. Mike, did we actually do that during the recording? Or was this off game over the prophecy? Do you remember?
It was on a game. I don't remember which episode.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the prophecy was like episode 3 or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
it's
was,
like
Wanna
very
remind
portion of it.
it
Can
was
you
our
remind the viewers what the prophecy was?
I think we went over it last one, but I can give it to you again. The prophecy goes something like, oh yeah, because we were actually keeping track of the gold. Yes, the prophecy did happen then. So the prophecy goes. Sorry, I have to go through a lot of my notes. I should have two separate books for both different games, but I don't. Okay, it says the sun will go black, fire and ice will cleanse the land, holding her reign of 10,000 years.
And there's more to it, but we don't know the rest.
Right. So the page was missing, right, or something?
Yeah.
Probably not that important.
well,
No, it's nothing.
this
Of course, it's nothing.
the part that you read was carved into stones by kobolds that were working on that were clearing out this cave
It was
when
also in the book last game.
when you sort of interrupted them and yeah. So
When Esmo started to fall for zombies. The beginning
and,
to the end of that.
and you know and you walked by and threw up and it was just a bad morning all the way around. Uh, so Enya and Jem go off to research general kingdom history. Um, Esma goes off to research the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves Smite and Blaze to research and see if they can find anything about the Blood Lotus.
Research is our kobold prophecies accurate?
Well,
Well,
you you don't know who wrote this. You don't know whether it was the kobolds or who it was.
I trust kobolds. They're related to dragons. Or at least they think they are.
Well, they're wimpy little servant creatures that don't want to die. So, but so what I'll do on everybody but Esma, because you're doing this on your own. And so, we'll start with Enya and Jim. Since you're a library attendant, takes you to the general local history shelf. Since there's two of you, I want you to decide which one of you is rolling.
What, a history check?
Yeah.
+2, but I'm feeling lucky.
I got +6.
Oh, nice.
So
maybe you should do it.
Right?
so and you give me a history roll, but roll with advantage because Jim is helping you.
Okay. Well. 18 plus 6 is one roll, and 2 plus 6 was the other roll.
So you take the 24.
Nah.
You find a very large, probably 1,000-page hardback volume on Nyckos history. What do?
Go
Skip to
find a
the end.
bed. Huh?
Skip to the end.
No. We take it to a table and we start to read through it.
The last entry in the book
Typical cleric.
was yesterday. Look, says such and such date. Today was a typical Wednesday. Not much else happened after that.
Is there an index?
Oh, probably.
Check that out.
So while you two are looking at that, Smite and Blaze is your name?
Yeah.
You two go looking for blood lotus material. And this would also be a history check.
All right, what's your
So-
history modifier?
I think it's like 0 because before my wisdom was -1.
Mine is +1, but I've also got lucky, so if I mess it up, then I get another
Oh.
roll.
So,
So
Blaze should probably roll, but roll with advantage because Smite is assisting.
Lucky advantage.
yeah,
So you
right.
roll with advantage and then re-roll if you miss.
Basically.
Oh, my history is +2 actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm not good at rolling though, so
I got a 16 as my first,
good.
a 21 as my second, so I'll just take the 21 and not blow lucky on it.
Yeah.
That's a nat 20, so I don't think I can get any better.
You never know.
So you
Tempt fate.
Question's whether you could do it again.
he could botch and like fall and hit his head on a shelf and kill himself. But since they're crystal shelves, you probably would fall, kill yourself.
Right.
Oh, I see you rolled a 1 on a history check. I'm gonna need you to roll a D percentile. Uh-oh. 00.
All history disappears, and the only thing you know is starting from yesterday.
That'd be bad.
Or everybody would be really happy.
You fall, you hit
Really
your
happy.
head. Amnesia.
Oh,
There wouldn't be any beef.
considering what some of the characters did before yesterday, you'd lose quite a bit.
You wouldn't know it though.
No.
But the two of you find a soft leather bound volume with gold trim pages. In fact, as you look on the shelves, there are 3 of these volumes 1, 2, and 3.
Should we look in the index?
Yeah.
It's
Or just search whatever command find.
you look in the prefaces of all 3 volumes, and it's an extensive history of the Blood Lotus group.
All right.
It's not really fair to call them a cult because you find out that they've been around almost as long, almost since the beginning of Nyckos itself. In fact, there are some rumors that one of the founders of the Blood Lotus founded Nyckos itself. So these are very connected people.
They're spies for the crown.
And they're all, it's a monk society. It's, you know, for lack of better example, Shaolin Temple, only better.
They ain't got nothing on Stormlord monks.
Uh, so, and like I said, Nyckos has been around since before the other kingdoms in the world. So they've been around for centuries. And
Damn it.
and they have a prophecy saying that at some point one of their leaders will again rule Nyckos and will rule Nyckos forever. That leader will become immortal and rule forever. And it also states that the volume states that there are several Blood Lotus temples in Nyckos, and they come together and have tournaments, and you know, to the common people, the Blood Lotus is a positive thing, but they also work in the shadows that people don't see.
Not to put a damper on it, but we're getting closer to 8. Do we want to stop at 8 or 8:10, 8:20, 8:30? Because about the time where we roughly do our break.
Um, well, it's 5 till. We could stop now, do our half-hour break, come back, and then we could see what Enya and Jim found and what Enya finds after that.
We'll keep you all in suspense.
Woohoo!
Fence.
So we will see you in roughly a half an hour,
Yes.
and see what interesting things happen after that.
Recording stopped.
Hello, and welcome back to tonight's episode of Fallen Dragons. This is episode 9. I haven't come up with a name yet. I'll go back in on YouTube and change it later. But as we left the group, Jam and Smite, or Blaze and Smite, had just read a bunch of information on the Black Lotus, or the Blood Lotus, excuse me. So now you guys know a lot of their history and why they might be interested in the prophecy, because they're hoping that the person in the prophecy that lives reigns 10,000 years is one of them. They're hoping anyway. So Esma went off looking for more information about that prophecy. Give me a history roll.
Okay, let me see what my history is. +3. All right. 6.
Was this the roll we did with advantage before the break?
Oh, I wasn't actually rolling. It wasn't my turn. Everyone else was doing their own stuff.
Gotcha.
So.
And Esma's by herself, so she didn't get advantage. There isn't anybody helping her at the moment.
I see.
Darn.
So
See, that's why she should get advantage.
you're still looking in the shelves for a book on the prophecy. Jim and
Oh,
Enya.
actually, real quick, Mike, I'm gonna do a spell where I can comprehend all languages, so that I can look for books in a better way. So whenever it's my turn again, I'm casting that.
Okay. Jim and Enya were looking for local history on Nyckos, and you found a huge single volume that you sat on the table and are now looking through. Nyckos has been around for about 1,000 years. And that's the reason they've been able to have more technology than the other kingdoms on the planet. They've survived. They've been around at least twice as long as any other kingdom. So they've had much more time. And also, due to their isolation, being one of the far lands, they haven't had to deal with things like wars and such that are distractions for them.
1,000 years of peace?
Except for occasional blood lotus flare-ups, which they deal with, but pretty much 1,000 years of peace. And,
1,000 years of peace with occasional cultist monks.
and when they got to the point where they had enough technology built up, they started trading it with other kingdoms and became more wealthy along the way. Being so far away, they don't get a lot of tourists. They're, as you can see, they are now an extremely modern kingdom. And they don't get involved in the squabbles of the other kingdoms in the country, on the world. Other than incursions from Reina, which is an ice kingdom for the most part, similar to Halcron, but it's governed by orcs. So it's a little more militaristic. And it has issues with elves, which orcs always do. In fact, in your travels, you've heard rumors of skirmishes here and there between orcs and elves. So, and that's pretty much, Nyckos has been ruled by elves, an elf king and queen for the last 500 years. So, and things are generally peaceful. And after you're done reading that, you pretty much decide that the reason you're here is that if the Blood Lotus decides that the prophecy is similar enough to theirs, they may start an uprising and try to take over. But up until now, the elves have been able to magically hold them off fairly well. So, does Esma want to try and make another roll to see if she can find what she's looking for?
Okay. And I cast comprehend languages. So let's see. 13 plus 3, 16.
You do find a volume. It's a medium sized book, and it just has the word prophecy on the binding.
There anything in it? There
Yeah,
that
and you know, as you open it and read it, you find that you're a bit surprised because it's not, it doesn't start the way you would think a prophecy started. It starts more as a story. It's
Once upon a time.
it's a story about if you're just glancing through it, it's a story about a small boy who um, because of his parents not always being able to give him the attention he wants, he decides that the best thing he could do is gain as much power as he can so that everybody would eventually pay attention. And he he convinces his parents to send him to wizard school. So, and, and Esmond knows that the island over from where you went to your education, the island to the left of that was the island where all the wizards were trained.
Hogwarts?
Hogwarts.
No.
Hogwarts.
I don't have it right in front of me at the moment, but no. Um,
Oh, it was the other one, Drumstring, or whatever.
Yeah.
but and the book goes on to talk about he did well in his wizard studies and built himself a name as a
The Dark Lord?
pretty strong uh, wizard.
Or is it Greg? What is the other one's name that was evil?
But he got
Grindelwald?
Grindelwald.
his power only got him so far. And one day he happened to talk to a black dragon. And black dragons are chaotic on their best day. And he would ask the dragon, how can I gain more power? And the dragon smiled and said,
That's what he
Uh.
said.
yeah, not quite. It'd be a much deeper tone anyway. You could always become a lich, but
Damn.
but that would mean you'd have to die. And he thought about it for days as he sat at the feet of the dragon. And he said, finally, I could do that. And the dragon said in return, I could help you. There is a ritual for that. You need a couple more of your wizard friends. And then the dragon said something quite unexpected. He said, if I take part in the ritual and die, and we fuse together, it creates a Draco witch, which is part witch, part dragon.
100% problem.
And it's immortal. And it's about the strongest thing you can be. We could rule this place and every other place. This idea greatly appealed to the boy because he would be in charge of everything. And he might not get attention, but he would get shiploads of fear, which is almost as good. And then the entries on the final pages talk about the mechanics of the Draco Lich ritual itself. And one day, the boy got 3 of his best wizard friends together and the dragon, and they performed this ritual. Now the dragon and the boy are both dead, but they're both one creature, and the rest, and the final page is the prophecy that you read that the kobolds wrote on the stones. You're muted.
Esma decides to take the book. Oh, and Mikey, you might want to move up a little bit. We
Yeah.
only see your forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Esma decides to take the book because it might have more information. So,
So you're going to steal a library book?
yes. She
You
is.
monster.
I know, I'm horrible.
You don't know what the penalties for that in this place are.
Okay, then how about Esma tries to find out if she can borrow the book?
Walk up to the front desk. There are a couple of people in robes standing behind the desk. What do you ask them?
I asked them, how long is your time frames to check out books?
we don't really have that because people come and go on adventures, so books could leave us for months and years at a time.
What if I give you 5 gold pieces to buy the book, and then I get back
Uh,
5 gold when I come back?
an elderly man in um, glittering blue wizard robes walks up behind the one that you're talking to. Says, throw in 10 more and I can make you a copy of the book.
How long will it take you to make a copy?
He taps the book. There's now a copy sitting next to it.
I give him 15 gold.
We learned how to do that just because of requests like yours.
Thank you, thank you. You have a book on how to make a, what do you call it, a golem?
Anybody that runs a magic shop can tell you how to do that.
Oh, I wanted a book, but okay.
In fact, there are potions on how to do that.
I want to make a golem named George.
Hey, George,
Call me George.
is he gonna have the same fate that your zombie did? Send him in his cannon fodder and watch him die.
Ouch.
Of
Will
course
you love
not.
him and squeeze him and call him George?
Yes.
And then
For-
send him off to battle, huh?
For
I'll
at
make
least,
him look like Finn and Fraser so he can be George of the Jungle.
for at least a day. And after that,
And send him off to battle.
is when he becomes cannon fodder, distractions and such. He gets one good night out of his life, and that's about it.
No, I'd cuddle and hug him and he'd be my friend.
Until you want him to go spy on somebody for you.
Uh,
I don't think a golem would be a good spy.
no, they're a bit large, you see, and they don't stealth very well. So a golem spy would be a bad idea.
You could leave it in the room and tell it to pretend to be sleeping.
Oh, I love that.
So
Talk about annoying the golem in the room.
Just paint it pink and have it be shaped like an elephant.
Pink. I love it.
the literal pink elephant in the room is
The little Pinko.
now
It's
you
like
have
his
to
nails.
now you have to decide after seeing it whether you've drank too much or not. Because you're seeing pink elephants, you have to be drunk.
Can you imagine a 20-foot pink elephant going "Wah!" and attacking people? That would be so much fun.
Named
And-
George.
And
20-foot.
they'd be standing there
A
going,
100-foot.
they'd be standing there going, do I believe this or not? If
It's
I
20
wa-
foot.
if
It's
I
pink.
wake up, will this go away?
It's an elephant. And it's ballerina dancing all over people.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I'll play my lute and we can just dance and sing and kill people.
So you give the librarian 15 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You take the copy of your book, and the 5 of you walk out of the library. So, what do you all want to do?
You should eat and drink. It
Drink.
should be about lunchtime.
And we can discuss our findings.
Okay. Well, there is a brown crystal spire to the northeast of the library. And being that lunch rush has started, there is a bit of a line. But the smell that you smell coming out of there is better than any inn you've ever been in. Um, you're half a block away and you can still smell the food that's cooking.
I don't know if it could be better than Margie's Hooch and Holler, but it might give her a run for her money.
So
So I guess we wait in line.
As so.
it only takes 10 minutes to get to the door.
Do they hand us one of those little buzzer things for when our table's ready?
Actually,
That's fine dining.
Or the crystal turns blue.
as you stop in the doorway, this place has very odd decor for what you're used to as far as an inn and tavern are concerned. The tables are low with pillows surrounding them. Um, bright red, green, and blue carpeting. Throw rugs almost. Um, the bartender and the wait staff look human, but their skin, they're a chocolate color. And you're not really used to running into humans of that color. You're much more used to things with a green or blue tint to them.
Most humans are green or blue.
No, most things that you run into in inns and taverns
Ah.
have a green or blue tint to them. And they're, well, the clothing they're wearing, you've seen in Oma before. It's light, it's thin, it's made for warmer climates. Now, it's not cold here, but it's also not extremely warm. So they look a bit out of place in the clothing they're wearing. One of the female waitresses walks up to you, but she does it so lightly that you didn't even hear footsteps on the carpeting. And she says in a very light, lilting voice, "Hello, may I show you to a table?"
Yes, please.
And there's 5 of you.
Yes.
So um, she she stops you in front of one of the larger tables. It looks like mahogany. It's a dark black table with undertones of brown that match the edges of the carpeting. And she looks down and notices that there there aren't enough pillows or cushions, as you might call them. So she runs over to the next table over and grabs a couple. Gestures for all of you to sit down around the table.
We have a seat, I suppose.
And she says, "I will be back with menus. Give me 1 second." And she heads off, once again, walking so lightly you can't hear her footsteps on the carpeting. And a couple minutes later, she comes back with menus that have half a dozen pages to them.
Oh my.
Eh,
They have a replicated.
eh, and and as you look at these menus, you see everything. You see standard fare that you've had in inns before, you know, steak, stew, seafood. But then you see things like uh, cobalt curry, which
Wait, is
uh,
it made by kobolds, for kobolds, or of kobolds?
of
Delicious.
you've never seen some of the things on this menu.
They have the long pork.
And even the drink section looks different from anything you've ever seen. Uh, they have wine, which most D&Dns don't have. They have liquor made out of various different fermented fruit, which you're not even sure you know what some of these fruits are. Um, and then uh, while you're looking at the menu, the waitress pads over with something that the best explanation for would be a modern day hookah, but it has 5 tubes running from it, one for each of you. And she sets it in the center of the table.
Well, I'm definitely going to try that.
She
I'll
says,
try it too.
this is for relaxing with lunch.
Do you have
What kind of flavors do you have?
Uh, she gives you a list. Actually, it's on the back page of the menu.
Esma's gonna try strawberries.
What were you saying, Smite?
I like peach.
Well, you don't see those words on the menu because who knows what the D&D equivalent to those fruits would be, especially in a far land that you've never been to. But she says if you want to sample any of the flavors listed here, just let me know. And she asks if you're ready to order lunch or not.
Yeah, I'll
Esma
try.
says,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'll try some of that kobold curry.
It's actually quite good. And it keeps our kobold problem in check.
Is it spicy?
It can be made any way you prefer.
Well, Blaze has never had curry before, so he's just completely new to it.
Um, even with 0 spice, curry's got an edge to it. So,
It's spicy with flavor, not necessarily heat.
but you can get it made with as much heat as you would like.
Are
If
there
you-
any specials today?
um, well,
There's too many choices.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh.
go with the special, whatever it is.
We have a pork dish that is cooked over an open flame and served with several vegetables, and then that is served over noodles with a, for lack of a better term, spicy cream sauce.
All of that sounds like yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Why am I
Well,
getting fat?
what would you like to drink with that?
Do you have a house cocktail?
Uh,
It seems like y'all know what you're doing, and I can't make a decision.
the the lunch cocktail would be
That I want that.
maybe a local fruit flavored vodka almost.
Yes, I definitely.
So
Thanks.
nah, she bows gently. Um, so we have the pork dish, the curry. How about the three of you?
I'll have a pink elephant. Just joking. I'll have a cobalt stew.
I'll go for the cobalt curry too.
Okay.
Make that 4 cobalt
Extra
curry.
spicy.
I'm gonna have a bite
I
of
want mine
somebody.
light on spice.
Yeah. So one cobalt curry, extra spicy, one light on spice, and Blaze wanted his
Just
light
medium spice.
medium spice. Esma wanted stew, and Smite wants the pork rice noodle vegetable dish. Okay. And Smite wants the local fruit infused vodka to go with that.
I think make that 2 of those.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
I'll
Fruit
go.
infused vodka all the way.
I'll
What
go with
else?
That
an
sounds
elven
good.
lager. I think.
Okay. What about Esma?
Oh, I said that I will have the foodie one too.
Yeah. So once again, she bows gently and pads away with your order. Um, about 10 minutes later, she comes back with the drinks.
Not bad for a place this busy.
Excellent
Mhm.
service so far.
The, the elven lager is seriously stout.
Oh, good.
It rivals any dwarven ale you've ever had.
It's called Long Legs Lager.
The the fruit in the infused vodka um, the earth equivalent would be blackberry.
Oh yeah.
And as you look at the glass, it has this layer of dark, almost syrup to it. And you see the syrup slowly dripping down to the bottom of the glass. It almost looks like the glass is bleeding.
Does this place
Stylish.
have rooms?
Something else.
What?
And
What?
does this place have rooms, or is it just a tavern, not an inn?
No. It, um, are you wanting to ask?
Yeah. I mean, it
She
seems really nice. The food is delicious. I mean, I assume.
you ask the waitress about rooms, and she says she looks up and she says, "In the top of the spire, we have about a half a dozen rooms that we rent."
Nice. I mean, I want to be close to this food. I don't know about y'all.
So
The smell and the hookah. I like
you
it here so far. This drink
you
is amazing.
you take a bite of the pork with the cream sauce and for a tiefling, you've never had anything that tastes like this in your life. It's like this. Think of the best, even the food at the Dragon's Castle in the Shadowfell wasn't this.
It's a pork gasm in my mouth.
And it, the pork and the cream sauce go beautifully with the blackberry vodka, and and the vodka is mellow. It's not something that you're gonna get slammed with.
I want to live here forever.
Uh, and as you're as your leisurely lunch continues, several of the other waitresses, dressed much like the one you have, only in different colors, come out and slowly start dancing as you hear a drum rhythm start in the back of the room,
Are they belly dancing? Please tell me that.
similar to it.
And,
If you
like belly dance where they're like popping and locking.
if you could, well, think about it. If you could combine dirty dancing and belly dancing, it's belly dancing, but there's definitely a almost sexual component to it.
I love this place.
What
And
did she look like?
oh,
Or he
yeah,
look like?
your waitress,
No, the belly dancer.
well, um, they look similar to your waitress, dark tan skin. Most of them have long black hair. Um, quite athletic looking because they dance for a living. Um,
I want to die here.
uh, green eyes. Uh, their clothing is a very loose wraparound type clothing that's each waitress has a different color. Mm.
Wraparound clothing where you kind of want them to keep dancing while you hold one end. Yep.
Pretty much. So, uh, of the people who ordered the curry, what did you think?
This is the best kobold I've ever eaten. Also the only kobold I've ever eaten.
Hey, how much cobalt have you had? Yes,
Yeah.
it is very good.
Blaze is a little surprised by how spicy it is, but he's been to a few inns in his time, so he's not a noob when it comes to spice.
Right. And medium curry is gonna have a kick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and Asma, the stew is probably, it's got some spice you're not quite used to, but it's good. And black the blackberry vodka is even better. And Asma having a predisposition to drinking a tad bit,
Just a little bit.
She decides she's gonna sit and nurse the vodka and watch the waitresses dance a bit. And
Me too.
Mhm.
She's gonna try to hook up with one of the women because she thinks they're beautiful.
why didn't I know that at some point?
Hey, Esma likes what she likes.
I
In
just
fact,
like the hips.
in fact,
I
in
don't know what's
fact,
going on.
I did know that was probably coming.
They're mesmerizing.
Yeah.
And so, do you ask your waitress about it, or do you uh,
I'll
talk?
ask my waitress about it.
I think we should get a room so we can invite somebody up.
Yes.
The
We
the
all
way
get rooms.
It's hard to score when you're like
the
back to your place, hey?
the waitress hands you a small uh, folded piece of paper. And basically, if you open and read that piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
it is a menu of personal services.
I love this.
Okay.
Perf.
I
Esma
want the
supports
material
sex
die here.
workers.
What? What
Esma,
now?
su- Esma supports sex workers.
Oh,
Sex work is work.
Yes, and she supports them.
um, and for maybe the range of prices on this menu range from 5 gold up to 25 gold, depending on activity involved. And she
That's
does
affordable.
she does it rather matter of factly, like it's part of what the inn does. And if you work there, it's part of one of the things that you do. And it's one of the amenities for the customers. And they don't have issue with it.
What
This
people
is a
want.
very liberal city. They've been around 1,000 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
we might want to get a room first before we.
Well,
Well, I
yeah.
think that's a part of the deal if you get the package.
Right.
At least for an hour.
A package deal.
They're not really gonna let you do that in the middle of the tavern on the main floor. No.
They're not
Maybe
that
take it for an
liberal.
extra
No,
5 gold.
You know, people are eating. It's not.
They have buffets at strip clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dancing is one thing while you're eating. Uh, they're
Carnal
like,
delights are another.
they're like, if you want to go further than that, please get a room. But
Blaze is gonna get the beat to the music and start playing his lute along with it.
oh, cool.
He
Um,
has a habit of doing that kind of thing for any inn he goes to.
do you have a? Well, you have a performance modifier, right?
Oh yeah, +6.
So give me a roll with your performance modifier to see how well you blend in, shall we say.
23.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. You you play along with the beat quite well. And one of the dancers looks directly over at you because she wasn't expecting that.
He gives her a smile.
And she smiles back and keeps dancing.
James asks if asks one of the dancers if he can paint your picture.
Hmm. Give um give me a persuasion roll.
Uh oh. Oh, 12?
Initially, she's a little surprised by that. Um, hang on just a second. But eventually, she whispers in your ear, if we spend the evening together, you could do that amongst other things if you prefer.
Well, that sounds great.
Okay. And she continues dancing. So, what do you guys do?
Finish eating, enjoy the hookah,
Mhm.
enjoy playing along to the music and watching the dance, and then eventually rent a room, I would imagine, or multiple rooms, a room for each of us.
Uh,
And Ezra circles the stuff she wants from the selection.
How much
well,
space do we have?
We have a lot. We're
Okay.
good.
yeah.
Yeah. How long can we stay here? Is
I
this going
think
to turn
a
into
couple
the
days.
island?
Eh,
Oh, suddenly we derailed the whole quest. We're just gonna stay at the awesome hotel.
I think not.
actually,
My life is complete.
you have not even, you know, you've done research at the library, but that's all you've done. You haven't.
Oh yeah,
We haven't asked how much the rooms are yet. Like,
Yeah, when you
you
buy
know,
the
the
house.
price? Like, they might be like 1,000 gold rooms, and then we could only stay for like a day.
Maybe that's why the personal services are so affordable.
I mean the personal services are like a year's wage for a laborer, so
Well, we got buckets of gold apparently.
yeah, adventurers make buku.
How
Yeah, the
many?
dragons
All
gave us
depends
a
on
lot of money,
How
and then we got money for giving the
how
egg back, so we
how
can
many
keep our
bu-
house.
how many buckets of gold do you guys have? As it were,
Talk to the accountant.
because
Last I checked, which I haven't updated the last amounts, we have over 5,000 gold.
I
Oh,
say
wow.
we should hire 1,000 basket weavers.
For a
We're
year
creating jobs.
each.
So we could technically, the Storm Lord is chaos, so we could spend here like a week here. And he'd understand, right?
Oh, of course.
let's see.
Send pictures.
Send-
We
uh,
do the research in the day and have fun at night.
This is gonna turn into the island.
I miss the island.
mm, okay. Uh, above game. I don't know whether. Well, I know Melody and Tina do, but don't know if the other three of you have ever read a gore book in your life.
No, I don't like gore.
No,
You mean vor or gore?
gore.
Okay,
It's GOR.
got
It's
it.
a science fiction series.
No.
No.
I'm familiar with the setting. I have not
Yeah.
read the novels.
I read one book. It was all right for me.
I read about
I like depressing nonfiction.
I've read all 36 of them. I've taught classes on it.
no lie.
Uh, and that's what this is. Slightly modified version of what this is.
I think Esma will be the top in this situation. Sometimes she'll be at the bottom. Actually, she might be both. I could get a plethora.
At the same time,
Yeah, she can switch back and forth.
then you could be really confused by the end of the night. Enough.
Oh no. Some of the best scenes above game is when you are bottom, then you top, and then you bottom again. Just saying.
Good.
Yeah, but with the vodka and the hookah, by the end of the night, you're gonna be like, now what am I doing and who am I doing it with?
I'm gonna do all of it.
Yeah. So,
That's 25 times 5.
So Blaze is going to make a persuasion roll to start trying to sow some rumors about how great he is as a player for this town.
oh, you mean bard wise?
Yeah, as a bard.
Okay. Well, Jim starts to sow rumors about the complete opposite of that. And wants to invite them all to his room and
So yeah,
just wants a massive orgy in the room.
He just wants to paint them like one of his French girls.
Um,
Esma wants to paint them too, but with knives.
whoa.
You know,
I want to paint
nothing
him
wrong
with
with a little bit
whip.
of knife play.
I want to paint him with a whip.
and actually, a girl having just done knife play would be an interesting painting to paint because of the different color possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But
And on her blue skin, it would be very beautiful.
the girl, as you as Blaze tries to do this, the girl who looked at you while you were playing walks over to you and says, we could have a very interesting evening together if you would like.
I think that's in the budget.
And let me give you a total price for all of this.
Wait, is there a discount for the package or?
Well, considering if you buy a room, all of your food and drink and hookah activity is included.
It's all rolled into the room price.
Yeah.
It's a
Super.
good deal.
Yeah. It's generally how inns work in D&D. If you rent a room, you get food and drink and all that included. Just because it's easier not to have to mess with numbers.
Plus, it's great if you're vacationing. Like, you don't have to worry about it. You just pay at the end or at the beginning.
Oh, you pay for everything at the beginning.
Yeah, they're afraid you'll run off and not pay.
Just in case you die, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more about running off. It's more about
Adventures are hard to collect from.
Yeah.
And the girls have to make their salaries and such. So how many, you guys were saying something about wanting to stay for a week?
Depends on how much it is.
How,
Or forever.
how many days? Pick a number of days.
Let's roll the dice.
Oh, nice.
I got 6. I did a 6-roll dice. So I say 6
So-
days.
6 is a good number.
So
Yeah.
5 of you for 6 days. Oh. That would be $30. That would be 300 gold for 6 days.
Esmo takes out the 300 gold and give it to the lady.
And she comes back and gives you 5 keys. She says, each key has your room number on it. Be careful walking up the stairs and the spire. The crystal can be a little slick. So, especially if you've been partaking of various drinks or hookahs by the end of the evening. So,
Room service, bring up the hookah, bring up the drinks.
Bring up the ladies.
And the men.
Giving
So-
room service a whole new name.
so you're gonna all retire to your rooms and just have room service bring things up.
We're paying
don't-
3
we don't
times an
pay-
aristocratic value for this thing, so it's a hell of a stay.
I don't know, for 6 days for 5 of you, that's
Yeah,
not bad.
no, it's not.
We needed a vacation.
Yes. Shadowfell was fun, but we needed a upper level vacation.
It basically comes to 10 gold apiece
Oh yeah, so right on
per
the
day.
aristocratic.
Yeah. So, you head up the spiral staircase. If you look out of the spire on either direction, you see you see the city. And as you get higher, you can see past the city to the farmlands that lay outside the city. And if you look directly behind you, you see the sea where you came in on the boat. Because you are a good, by the time you get to your rooms, you're a good 60 feet in the air.
It's a hell of a stair climb.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need an elevator.
Make sure that you don't fall down the steps going to the garderobe.
elevator. They need a hover lift. This is D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So
shoot a bunch of air up a tube, kind of like those things at Home Depot that send like letters places. But do that with people.
What are those called? Like at the banks they used to have them.
Oh,
The
the
pneumatic
tubes.
tubes.
My
Mhm.
uh my credit union on Sahara still has them.
I believe they're called transfer tubes.
Yeah. Pneumatic
Is that
transfer tube.
that way you can't get to the teller? So
Yep, they're still around here too.
you
Every
get
bank has them.
you get a tube and a telephone. You can't access the teller at all. So you can't rob the credit union that way.
Oh, they're just at the drive-throughs here. You can go
Like
in to see the teller.
you you call the teller on the phone and tell her you're wanting to rob the bank, and she just hangs up on you.
That
calls
reminds
calls the guard, and they come out and take you away.
You've got your license plate.
Yeah,
It's all over.
it's like this went horribly wrong compared to the way I wanted it to go.
Right.
So easy.
saw a
Yeah,
video
they're
of a
good at
guy getting
anything.
robbed, gun in his face, like point blank, and he was just like, no, and he just ignored the robber from that point on.
Shit.
The robber was like, "What?" and then left.
Wow.
Effective.
Probably wasn't loaded.
Maybe, but he certainly called that dude's bluff that he wasn't gonna shoot him over a couple $100.
Yeah, it's like, are you really gonna go to jail for murder for what I have back in a drawer back here?
Not to be the bearer of news, but we're almost at 10. So,
Yeah.
did we want to stop here or do we want to do a little more?
If we start playing out scenes, it's
Which we
good.
probably should not do. It's good to wink and nod, but I don't think we should actually go into detail.
Well, I get the girl up to my room, and she's like thinking she's about to do some of those, and then I'm like, no, just sit on the couch. I'm gonna paint you.
Okay, how
And
about
she's like, you
we
were serious?
do this? Because this will be more fun for me. Each one of you, in a short sentence or two, tell me what happens with each one of you.
So, Esma has a bag of fun, and she opens a bag of fun. And hopefully, there's a St. Andrew's cross because she's definitely going to use that. And she's going to bottom and top all night long.
You can have one easily sent up to the room.
All right, so she's gonna get a St. Andrew's cross. She has a coconut rope, and she's just gonna bottom and top until they get all exhausted and fall asleep as a puppy dog puddle in the bed.
Okay. So
And they'll need to clean the sheets tomorrow, definitely.
They actually have them burned. Like they took one look at those sheets and they
And
just
burn
would
them to
throw
death.
them into the incinerating.
so what does Blaze do?
Blaze mostly spends the night talking shit on the rest of the party and like drinking with her and just like shooting the shit and talking to her about her job and like everything about that kind of thing. He's really boring.
Okay. What does Enya do?
I take and have him bring up a St. Andrew's cross and a dolly on the horse, and I whip him and I whip him and whip him and whip him and whip him.
Till
And-
you're till
the
you're
point-
sh-
To the point that she falls asleep, and then I carry her to the bed, put her in the bed, and fall asleep myself.
Do they charge per whip or how,
No.
how does it go?
no. They only charge per stroke if you use a cane, and that's a whole other thing. So what does Smite do with her friend that she invites up?
Smite just learn. Well, Smite's been doing a lot of agility and flexibility training, which is where she was last time, working at a workshop. So
Okay.
yeah, sort of learn some new techniques with rope, and with Smite and the belly dancer. It's a sweaty fun time.
Rope and lots of flexibility at the same time.
It helps.
Yeah.
It does. Especially if you stay in one position long enough.
So that is where we will end tonight with you guys. Next week, venturing out to find one of the Blood Lotus temples and seeing what happens there. So, I hope you guys had fun. And I hope anybody that watches this after tomorrow has fun. Anything else you guys want to add before we end tonight?
Check
Please
us
like
out
and
on
subscribe.
like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere. We're everywhere. Fallen Dragons RPG.
Yep, we even have a Discord.
It's up on the screen right now.
Somebody should actually regularly check that in case somebody's on there.
I do,
I
but
do.
nobody ever says anything. But yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching. It's really cool that you made it to the end.
Yep. And as always, our episodes are always crazy because I try to make them that way. And so definitely tune in next time to see what happens. And next, this episode will go up on, well, our next episode will go up tonight, you said?
Yeah, so we'll have episode 8, part 2 will come up tonight. And then the
Which
episode
is Monday.
9 will be, Sunday. So episode 9 will come up on the 22nd.
Okay. And definitely tune in next week for the next episode of Esma's Beginnings.
Just because I'm psychic, it's gonna be a really good episode.
Because, and I'll say this now, there's only going to be a few more of those. And then that's going to blend into Fallen Dragons. And we'll be coming up with a new game after that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
guys have to keep following to see what the new game is. And with that, I'll say good night and hope to see you back here next Sunday.
I love it.
So,
Buenas noches.
Good night.
Good night.
Good to
Recording
I stopped
stopped.
recording.